I guess I will start by introducing myself a little bit. My name is Emily, and I'm the MFA's newest intern and video editor. And I will be working with Will Scott and our feature artist, Shelley Lowenstein.
Lowenstein.
Will, if you want to the introduction of yourself. And
Yes, I'm Will Scott. I've been a member of the MFA for quite some time, a board member for about 15 years, and a participating artist member for roughly the same amount of time. I'm a photographer. But I did have a 30-year career in public education at the National Gallery of Art, and I have a PhD in the history of American art. So when COVID hit the MFA and shut down our exhibition program, we came up with Will Talks, sort of more academic format as a way of continuing to provide opportunities for our member artists to connect with the public. In the last few years, as social media, everybody learned from that COVID experience how to use social media better, especially nonprofits. We're now trying a new iteration of Will Talks, which will be much briefer, only 15 to 20 minutes, and it will focus on a work of art by one of the artists in a current exhibition. So in this new format, there's less give and take, and there is, of course, no public opportunity for questions, although you can send them to the information at the MFA, and we will do our best to get back and answer those questions. Let's introduce our very energetic guest artist today, Shelley Lowenstein.
while most people can confidently name a variety of cells, including brain cells, skin cells, liver cells, white blood cells, and assert that each is critical to a person's health, beta cells tend to remain in relative anonymity. Even among the millions of Americans living with type 1 diabetes, beta cells are rarely a conversation topic. Shelley Lowenstein aims to elevate awareness of the remarkable beta cell through her art and for her daughter. This mom with a cause decided to make the hardworking beta cell a household word to make it famous. And she turned to two-dimensional and three-dimensional work. It was when she discovered immersive digital art that the world of the beta cell exploded onto the science and art scene.
We obviously have a very creative and intelligent artist today who's got a unique way of using digital media to convey the information about beta cells and their significance to human life and health in a very beautiful way. And so what I want to do now is jump right to what is really the center of our program. And it's not even the artist, truly, it is their creation. I'm very pleased because when I looked over the exhibition works, I thought, wow, that's something that's really cool. That deserves an award. So anyway, I thought it would be great to have a double stamp of approval while we talk to Shelley about her work. And I'm especially interested first in a quick definition of the beta cell and or explanation of how you thought to focus in on the beta cell. And then how did you use digital technology?
Thank you, Will, and thank you to the Maryland Federation of Art, and thank you so much to the juror, Lawrence Arcadius, for her recognition and thoughtful and inspiring words. I'm really honored, or truly honored. Beta cells, we all have them. We have about close to 1 billion beta cells, but in truth, those beta cells would fit on the tip of your pinky. That's it. And they are there to last a lifetime. And they are very, very hardworking. They're on call 24/7, and they work mostly when you eat. I could get your beta cells to work right now. So if you were to just think about your favorite food or your favorite dessert or something delicious, usually you start to salivate. That means your beta cells have gone to work. So we eat a lot of stuff, and they're down in your pancreas, and everything goes down there, and it's churned into a soup. And what's really important to every cell in our body is glucose. Glucose is our fuel. It's also called blood sugar. If it were to work the way would think it would work, the blood sugar would go into your body and go to all the cells that need fuel, but it doesn't work that way. The beta cell is sort of a guard, and it says, okay, there's so much blood glucose right now, so much fuel, we're going to make enough insulin to go to all the cells that need fuel and open them up. So it's sort of like a gas tank. The insulin is the key to your gas tank. It goes away, it's flushed out of your body, and the glucose goes in. The beta cell made that happen. The beta cell enabled you to have energy, to walk, to talk, to do art, to do whatever, to think, to do whatever you want to do.
I think, Shelley, the way you described the beta cell, that gave a very clear understanding of what it is and how important it is. Do they literally have these shapes, sort of like berry-like shapes, or is that something you did with digital?
No, beta cells take up the space that they're given. They're actually quite blobby.
Okay.
So I took it upon myself to make them blobby.
Yeah, yeah. And to give them that movement, they move to where they're needed.
They live in a place in your pancreas called the islets of Langerhans. And the image that's on the screen with the scribble on it is actually a community of cells that live with the beta cells in the islets of Langerhans. The beta cells don't move. What moves is the insulin. So they produce insulin that goes up to their edges. And when it's needed, when it goes on call, then they pop through the surface of the beta cell and go into the bloodstream to feed your cells.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, now the part that I feel like I have all the understanding I could have as a layperson without taking a course in the science of the pancreas and insulin. So let's move on to the part that that we're all here together today because of your art. How did you decide to use digital technology? Because I believe I understand that you were a painter first and very good at it.
So when I started telling the story of the beta cell, because I am a storyteller in all the work I do, I started to just experiment with everything from styrofoam balls to bottle caps, from paint, acrylic, and oil to welded steel. And I slowly but surely came up with this way of telling the story using images, 2D work. But I also did 3D work. I wanted to wow people. I wanted to get the greatest audience. And I realized that I wasn't going to do that with 2D and 3D work. I thought I really needed to make them move somehow. And so I wanted a wow experience. And I wanted something immersive, something that would reach a larger audience, because I'm a mom with a cause. I want to make the beta cell famous. I've been to the Museum of Digital Art in Brooklyn, and then I'd seen the amazing work of Refik Anadol, who's an AI artist, like one of the best. And I was determined to animate my work in some way. And honestly, my knowledge of algorithms and AI is minuscule. So I began to research how to animate still images. And there are a lot of programs out there, a lot. But they're not all easy to use, and I'm not comfortable using a lot of them. But I did find this one called Motion Leap, and that's what you see on the screen right now. You upload one of your images, and then there's a button that says to animate, and you determine what part of the image you're going to animate by sweeping it with a brush. And then you determine what direction you're going to make it go in. And the more you play with it, the more different effects that you can get. So the more I played with it, the better I got at making it do what I wanted to do.
So is it fair to say that you found a digital program, a piece of software that allowed you to paint with bits instead of with pigments?
That's interesting. I wouldn't call it bits, but yeah, it allowed me to move the images that I made slowly but surely, to speed them up, to slow them down, to do different things. And it was very deliberate what I made them do, because each one of these images that was moving in the little video that I
Mhm.
put into the competition does tell part of the story of beta cell behavior. So this one, for example, would be okay, this one with the orange is glucose flowing along the bloodstream along with the insulin.
All right, let me make sure I understand this. If one had the right kind of microscopic viewing tool, you
Yeah.
would see something that looked like this.
Well, I don't know. This is as far as we know, and it's based on all the different scientists who I interviewed explaining to me how it behaves. A
Okay.
lot of this stuff has not been seen. So it was using verbal information and then creating images that came from me. These are not scientific illustrations.
That's what I was really thinking and driving at, and wanted to be sure that I was understanding it. So really the visual image that you are presenting to all of us is not something that you've sort of used a quick digital fix or device to transform into this visual medium. You really are the creator. You're still really the creator. You're just using a different kind of tool. You're using
Yes.
electrons in a sense. Maybe that's a better word than
Well,
bits.
the only way you would be able to see any of these with very special electron microscopes, if
Yeah.
you were able to see them at all.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I just think that it's mesmerizing. I didn't spend as long in the exhibit because I was trying to look at everything as I am now, and I don't know. I think one could meditate in front of these, or yeah. I mean, uh, it's mesmerizing. Are you making more and more of them, or
Yes, yes. This is the first version I've ever tried. It's more creative than illustrative. There's a very, very loose narrative structure because I needed to figure out a way to hook it together, but it's really a medley of beta cell behavior. But this is more about the visual experience.
yes?
For me, it's a feast for the eyes. It's a way to pull people in. Even if one person is captivated by the amazing beta cell, then I feel like I succeeded. But what I would like to see next is another kind of visual, digital video, but bigger and with more powerful music. I feel like if I could do that next, I would be able to reach even a larger audience.
Yeah.
And the goal again is to just make the beta cell famous. People know insulin, but they don't know that the beta cell makes the insulin, and the insulin is a hormone. It's important, but it's a hormone.
Yeah.
And so you can't live without your beta cells.
Well, I think you've done a terrific thing, both in your initial goal of helping people to recognize the beta cell's existence and importance, but this is some beautiful art,
Thank you.
and I hope you do continue to develop it and show it with us, submit it to our exhibitions. I have one more question, and very selfish question. You mentioned the digital tool that you use to manipulate the images that sort of let you go in this direction. What was that called?
It's called Motion Leap. It's very simple.
Somebody might be looking into that, and this is one of the purposes of our Will Talks, to help artists get new creative ideas. So you've hit at least one artist today.
It's very fun. There are way more sophisticated tools out there and available for anybody. You just have to search. But for my limited knowledge, and I didn't want to have to ask a million people to help me,
Yeah.
this is the one that worked the best. I think we live in a digital world, and I know I want to reach a wider audience, and therefore I know I'm going to have to keep using technology.
Well, you were, I think, for me, an ideal choice for this first Will Talk devoted to the digital show, our digital show, because that's what we're trying to do, is show new approaches to art, and new tools that artists like you and others can use creatively to show us new things and new ways of experiencing and seeing the world. So, Shelley, you've made a wonderful guest, and I
Thank you,
really
Will.
appreciate you agreeing to do this.
It's my pleasure, and if you need me to do more, I'd be happy to do more.
All
So I
right.
just believe that the digital world is where the eyeballs are gonna be.
Sure. Thank you both for coming and for talking about this really beautiful piece of art. I was looking at it earlier, and I'm just very mesmerized by it too. So
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Okay. Well,
That
thank you,
I
Blue.
accomplished my goal. Thank you.
Okay. Take care.